Rock23.com's Great Albums, where each week we invite one of your favorite artists in to talk about 5 of his or her favorite albums. And this week we have with us Mr. Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. Welcome, Dave.
Hello, hello.
How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Great.
We're catching you as you're on tour through the Bay Area. You're playing at the Warfield tonight. How far are you into this leg of your tour this time?
We did 2 shows in Alaska. We did 2 shows in Washington, 1 in Portland, and then this is our first show in California. And we've got another show tomorrow in Anaheim, then we go to Las Vegas. So we're kind of moving down this way, heading east.
How is it in Alaska? I'm not really aware. Do they get a lot of shows up there?
Well, yeah. I mean, not very many bands have the balls to go up to Alaska. They figure, we're going to play it safe in the lower 48 and not go up there. Because, I mean, I watched the Man vs. Wild, and I don't want to drink my piss, being stuck in some ice crag because my plane crashed down there. But,
yeah.
There's a lot of fans up there, and they really appreciate you making the effort to get up there. And we had a great time. In fact, the newspaper up there said that it was the best that the newspaper themselves, the best that the venue we played in had ever sounded. I was pretty pleased with that. Because when you're traveling and you're doing the very first show of a tour, it's usually like, oh my God, But our team is really fantastic, and we're dedicated to entertaining.
Awesome. So you're supporting United Abominations right now, right? And then next month, or October 3rd, I think you have a new box set coming out. Can you tell us anything about? You have some unreleased versions of things and stuff on there, or what's special on that?
The box set is called War Chest, and we'd had a lot of discussions about doing this because the people at EMI are really pleased with our success over the years. We had a really, really good run at Capitol, and the relationship we've had with EMI, which is the mother load company, whatever. It's always been really strong, and they wanted to do this, and there's so much rare stuff in there. I mean, some of the stuff, I'm listening to me singing, I was really young, and it kind of sounds like 2 cats having sex, and some of the other stuff, I sound like I'm a little more confident with my playing and singing and stuff like that, but I just, when I first looked at the material that was on there, I was kind of like, wow, you sure you want to put all the stuff out there? Because, I mean, there's even stuff we did, like we covered a Diamond Head song from many, many years ago, which is a band that I really liked, and we had the singer show up and come out and sing with us. Now, granted, he came out on stage and he was wearing fluorescent, day-glow, fruity patterned, workout pants, and his hair was tied in a thing like this right on top of his head, and I looked at him and I was like, you're the guy that's saying, am I evil? Oh my God. I think everybody in the audience said that too, but make a long story boring, that was really fun for me to be able to record that song and have him actually sing. It's been a long time since I've played music and not sang. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
long time.
Well, speaking of Diamond Head, you're with us today to tell us about 5 albums that you think are great for whatever reason, and that's one of the choices that you had. So, Diamond Head, Lightning to the Nation.
Diamond Head for me was a really, really influential band for my guitar playing. Brian Tatler, the guitar player, and I are really close friends. When we were recording United Abominations over at David Gilmour's house in England, Brian came and visited us, and I actually wrote a song on The World Needs a Hero named When, which was an ode to Brian because of, how much Diamond Head influenced the world with heavy metal, because so many people think that the songs that I did when we were in Metallica, when I was in Metallica, the Diamond Head songs, they didn't know those were cover songs. So that really formed a lot of who we were, and I think that if Diamond Head really got the credit for being the stone that Metallica was shaped out of, they probably would have been much more popular. But for me, I really, I'm not as concerned about them getting their just due as me personally letting them know what they mean to me, and I know that Brian knows that I really love their band.
So, what's another album on your list of greatness, and why?
If I look at the music that shaped who I am as a musician, there's two different ways that I look at it. There's the music that influenced me, and then there's the music that influenced my guitar style. So the music that influenced me, a lot of that was Led Zeppelin and the Beatles. The music style that developed from me listening was around UFO and AC/DC and Diamond Head, like I just said. So when I first heard Led Zeppelin, I knew that I had found a band that matched my biorhythm. Medieval kind of Renaissance vibe, the heaviness of the guitar playing, the sex appeal of Robert Plant, the machismo of Jimmy's playing. I mean, I wanted to be the embodiment of Robert and Jimmy and a frontman that sings. And although I don't come close, to me, it's one of my dreams as a kid was to be that frontman and to play that guitar. So Four Sticks was one of the records that for me, even though it can't possibly, no record could completely compartmentalize all of Led Zeppelin's accomplishments. I think that Four Sticks is probably my favorite record, and oddly enough, Jimmy and I have become acquaintances, and I'd like to think that it would grow to be we'd be best friends and stuff like that because he's Jimmy Page, for Christ's sakes. But we'd done a song on United Abominations called Out on the Tiles, and Jimmy heard it. And a friend of mine, Ross Halfin, a popular rock photographer, had said that Jimmy had heard it, and he said that he loves it, especially the last minute of the song. Well, the last minute of our version is me doing all his old solos. So of course he would like that, and I was really flattered. I'm thinking, oh my God, Jimmy Page heard me do his song and said he loves it. What kind of a payoff is that?
That's awesome.
That's like having, like Santa Claus's email for you when you're a kid, you're thinking like, oh my God, I've hit the payload, And so, anyways, that was really great for me. And so that's Led Zeppelin. The other band that really helped me with developing my music style, what I like is, again, going back to the Beatles. The White Album itself, I think, is probably the greatest way to introduce somebody to the best of what the Beatles is, because it's got the psychedelic stuff, it's got the real moving stuff, like She's So Heavy is, to me, that's one of the greatest metal songs ever. When you listen to that and you're thinking what the time period was back then. I mean, this is before Iron Butterfly, probably. Who cares? But to me, I'm thinking, God, that is just so blatantly heavy, and it's just great for me at that period as a kid to be able to sneak in and go listen to the songs that you want to listen to, and you hear all these other things too, like some of the stuff that the lyrics that Paul would come up with were just so removed from what John would write, because John would write more political kind of bent songs, and Paul would kind of write more the kind of sappy love songs. And the weird thing is that I kind of like Paul's music and John's lyrics, that combination more than any other combination between them. It just worked for me better. So White Album is my favorite Beatles record.
Cool. When you mentioned about the bass moving under the guitar chords, it made me think about another one of your choices, which is UFO Obsession.